They call it boilo. Which now, when I was watching Justified, do you remember when Mags kept offering apple pie?
Yeah, the apple pie moonshine.
It tastes. That's what it is. It's the same shit.
Well, hopefully not the same ingredients.
Not the same ingredients, no, because Mags was a little bit of a bitch.
A psychopath. Just the word I would use.
Yeah. Okay. All right. It depends. How you look at one of your aunts. You know what I mean? Right. Depends on what she does for you. Mags seemed to, she seemed to take in some people, do some good.
Yeah.
But whatever. Anyway, but yeah, I don't even remember where I was going with that now. I started going somewhere and I forgot. It's fine. Go ahead.
No, but I became fascinated with the whole original story of Tombstone, Arizona, and how Wyatt went in there, and then the whole shooting at the OK Corral. You know what I was kind of wondered about was that I wonder how in the hell Doc Holliday got involved with Wyatt Earp and that crowd, and and then helped him out with the shooting at the OK Corral, because Doc Holliday, he was just a dentist, He was just he was a dentist, but once he found out, he wasn't
just a dentist though. That's the thing, and he was also staying at where the gunfight was, right by the photo studio. And back of the photo studio was it CS Fly? I believe was the. I could be wrong, but I think it was something like CS Fly's photo studio. Mm-hmm. Right in back, and I think it was attached to the studio, was a little room, which is where Doc Holliday was staying, and I think that's why it happened there, because they were going after Doc.
Because after Doc Holliday found out he was dying from back then it was consumption. Of course, now we know it was tuberculosis. But
right.
He sort of just went on a couple year long bender, and
right.
just gambling and robbing people. But he was basically just a criminal that really just Wyatt liked him. He was his friend, Wyatt Earp and his brothers, they did. They were just friends with him, so they kind of teamed up with this outlaw, which is basically what Doc Holliday was. He was an outlaw.
He was a gunfighter. He was a gambler. He was, he was an outlaw. But what happens, and I think that this is very common, is that a lot of these people were like that. A lot of them, it depends on how you look at it, but a lot of them were good guys maybe in one place and a bad guy somewhere else. But as soon as they got that badge on, that's like, not for nothing, but that's like a lot of police. And you see this in different...
I was thinking the exact same thing, how most of the police these days are military members, But if those same guys make their way over to the Middle East, they're criminals to those people, you know what I mean? They're there,
to those guys, yeah. It's like they're heroes to us, but then, how do you think the guys over there feel when they're coming in their house? He's like, whoa, who are you?
Why are you kicking down my door for?
But it's funny because there's a lot of cops, and I come from a huge cop family. My grandfather was chief of police in a town in Jersey. My dad's father, and then my dad's brother was also a cop in Florida. My mom's uncle was a detective in Philly. I had cops all over. My dad has cousins who were cops. Whatever. There was cops all around. My family are FOP members. It's cop stuff all over. But what I've noticed, though, is a lot of the people that were bullies and assholes growing up end up being cops. So it's like it's kind of the same thing. It's like this guy could be a gunfighter, and then all of a sudden in another town he's wearing a badge, and it's like he's the law.
Yeah, he's the law.
So
but those outlaws, they made the best. I mean, they were the best thing they had to make cops back then, because they were rough men and used to rough ways, to quote my great ancestor Cole Younger. I'm not saying great as in a great person. I'm saying great as in several ancestors removed. Cole Younger, which is also why my middle name is Cole, by the way, because I am distantly related to Cole Younger, who was a member of the James Younger gang, which we're going to discuss in depth in the next week's episode. So there's something you can look forward to. But yeah, I mean, the outlaws, they were rough men and used to rough ways, and they knew how to handle some steel, And so, hey, wow, have you ever tried your hand at being a lawman? It's not like you didn't have to show a resume back then. It was just like, oh, I know you shoot good.
So you were going on about how about what turned you on to westerns, and and how you wanted to have all this stuff. And it's funny because it's very similar to I would say just about every boy in 1950s America, which is where my dad came in. And my dad was born in 1948, so he grew up with all the old westerns, and he would wear the old cowboy hats and stuff when he was a kid. And then when I was born in 80, so when I was growing up, I watched all the old shit he watched. So I was watching, we had a local, and I think she was from Kansas originally, or Missouri. There was a Western, this girl, she would do like shows and stuff. Her name was Sally Starr. Well, she ended up living in New Jersey, and she had a Saturday morning TV show. They had local people like Sally Starr, Chief Halftown, they would have all these other guys. Like other places would have like Bozo the Clown or, something like Howdy Doody. So that's basically what she was. But I grew up watching her, and I watched Gene Autry and Roy Rogers, and I watched all the old stuff my dad watched. But the biggest one that drew me in was Have Gun Will Travel.
The movie.
My dad, the TV show.
Oh, is it a TV show? Okay.
It was a TV show, yeah. It was like late 50s, early 60s, about a guy named Paladin who he would give a calling card. Like it was like literally a business card, and had like the chess piece on it, with the horse, the knight.
Yeah.
The Paladin, and it would say, have gun, will travel, wire Paladin, San Francisco. And so when he gave that card, people were like, "Oh shit, this motherfucker's a gun. He's a gunfighter. We don't want to fuck with this guy." He was like
basically like a bounty hunter.
Yeah, right. And they've been talking about trying to remake shows and stuff like that. There was this there was a rumor that Eminem was going to play him, which I'm sure that would make a lot of a lot of people happy. Wink, wink.
Oh no.
Yeah, but I grew up watching that stuff, and then also being a child of the 80s, I was really big into cartoons, and there was a cartoon when I was a kid called Brave Star. Now I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but Brave Star was like he was a marshal, and he would have like the strength of a bear or eyes of an eagle, and he would say this stuff, and I guess he would he would have like eagle vision and bear strength and all this stuff, like like quickness of a cheetah or some shit, and that he become really fast.
Wait, so
I was even watching like
for the Eminem version, were they going to change the name of the show? I mean, were they going to call it like Have Gun, We'll Hold It Sideways, or maybe Have Gun, We'll Be Arrested in a Nightclub?
I like your technique. You wait a couple minutes after I'm done.
I was stewing over
stay
it.
On the other topic. Yeah.
I was waiting for a break. I just had to interrupt you.
I'm waiting for you to interrupt me and then bring up something about Westworld.
Oh, continue. I'm done with my stupid joke.
Have gun will hold sideways, you asshole. That's a good technique, though. You just fucking chime in whenever you want about whatever.
I'm still thinking about Eminem. You just keep talking. It's going right over my head. I'm trying to think of names for his TV show.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Don't listen to to how.
Hey, I'll listen to the replay.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. You prick. No, but I loved it ever since, man. I loved it. And then when I was like 16, my parents would take me over to a ranch in Jersey. It was called Slim's Ranch, and it's like you start watching something. You watch like a Western or something, like I don't know. You watch Young Guns, and it's like, hey, I want to fucking ride a horse now.
Uh-huh.
You go over there. You go over to Slim's Ranch and fucking ride a horse around. It's not like I had horses. I lived in row homes in the city. Mm-hmm. So, it was hard. It was really hard to get my Western fill and feel part of that culture because...
Man, I grew up in Oklahoma and I never rode horses. I never did. So, I mean, I didn't even know anybody who had horses. The only time I ever rode a horse, you went to the state fair or something, and you got those horses that just go around in a circle.
Rides.
Yeah. And you just go around in a circle. You just hop on one, do like 3 rotations, and get the hell off, and be like, I'm a cowboy.
What's funny though is in Philly, because it's such an old city, there's still a lot of cobblestones, and not only that, but I don't know if you knew this, a lot of old bricks that they would have for the roads were not made of like, whatever the hell they were making, bricks out of at that point, whether it was cobblestone or whether it was, some kind of like cement or mortar, whatever the hell they were making bricks out of, right? They were using wood bricks, like wooden bricks.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really?
That's what the streets were made out of. They were using wooden bricks, and in Philly, there's still a lot of them. And there was this whole section of the street where they had blacktop over it, and it started coming up, and people were grabbing the bricks, and they realized that they were all fucking wooden bricks, and they're still there. And
it seems like it would be really unpractical. It seems like they'd get waterlogged after every rain and just start rotting out and stuff.
Do you think they knew that then?
Yeah.
What
the hell's a waterlog?
Yeah. So I want to ride that. It's like a log flume.
Yeah, right. We'll be back in here in about just 1 minute to close it down with another about 20 minutes. Okay, so be right back.
All right, guys, let's take a minute to talk about Cisco's Gallery, home of the rare and exceptional. Stepping into Cisco's is like stepping into a time machine and coming out in the Old West. Whether it's vintage art, genuine antiques, or period-perfect furnishings, Cisco's is the place to be. Listen, it doesn't matter if you're looking for a beautiful historic piece for your home, office, or anywhere else. You need to get on your horse and head to Cisco's Gallery at 220 North 4th Street in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Or, you can drive because it's the 21st century. Their 13,000 square foot megastore is packed floor to ceiling with fine art, jewelry, lodge furnishings, and sporting goods in both American Indian and country and western motifs. Not in Idaho? No problem. You could check out over 4,500 items in stock at ciscosgallery.com. That's CISCOS gallery.com. Cisco's Gallery. It's the greatest collection of Western art and artifacts available for sale in the entire world.
All right, so one of the things that we're going to be doing towards the end of just about every show, I think, unless, we decide to change things up, is I got the idea for, I know I've been calling it free range in the show notes, but there's this movie, another Western movie that I very much enjoy called Open Range. It's actually got, Kevin Costner in it. Kevin Costner and, what's that dude? He was in The Godfather. He was in Deep Impact. What's his name? Old Man. Anyway, it's got those two guys in it.
Duvall?
Yeah, Robert Duvall. So the last segment here is just going to be sort of open range type talk, and that's whatever's on our mind about anything Western culture, Western lore, Western apparel, attire, shit. I don't care. Whatever you want to talk about.
Didn't Kevin Costner play Wyatt Earp?
He did. There was actually a movie called, I think it was just called Wyatt Earp, and it's got Kevin Costner in it. I honestly don't think I've ever seen it, but it's out there somewhere.
I know he did your movie Postman.
Oh, my movie.
that's your movie.
And actually, I'm more of a Waterworld guy, so
Waterworld.
Yeah. That's my shit. Anyway, back. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No,
well,
man. This is your show.
No, this is our show, Ox. This is our show, all right? This is brand new, and I know it's a little bit awkward this first episode and everything, and we're gonna power.
It's fine. We'll work out all the kinks.
We're gonna power right through this, and we did as much pre-work as we could. I mean, we've been working on this show seriously for 3 weeks or so. We've been working on it for about 3 weeks before we decided to finally record this first episode, and here we are. So, but I did. Oops, sorry, that's my fault.
Is that?
Yeah, that was me. I didn't turn off the sounds. But I didn't turn off the sound. See, these are these kinks that we're going to be working through right here.
We'll get through all this.
But I did read a book this week, and it was a book called The Big Sky by a gentleman named A.B. Guthrie. It was published in 1947. He wrote